Prince Harry TM's life has changed more than he could ever have imagined in the last 5 years. He met Meghan Markle, married her, stepped back from royal duties, moved to America, and became a father to 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. The Sussexes are reportedly loving life as a family of 4, having welcomed young Lili to the world in June. Makeup artist Daniel Martin, who prepared Meghan TM's beauty look for her wedding 3 years ago, told people they have struck a rhythm as a foursome. Stepping back marked the end of more than 35 years for Harry at the forefront of royal life, including several royal tours, a 10-year spell in the army and numerous other projects along the way. Having first entered the military as a 20-year-old, serving in the military changed Harry from a boy to a man. Harry TM's first scheduled deployment to the frontline in Iraq was scrapped in May 2007 amid concerns he would be a high-value target. He was deployed several months later to Afghanistan in a secret mission. He became the first member of the royal family to serve in a war zone since Prince Andrew in the Falklands War. The narrator of the 2018 Netflix documentary Prince Harry TM's Story, 4 Royal Weddings trademark said Harry found a sense of belonging thousands of miles from home. Harry was immediately pulled out when the media blackout was broken by the German and Australian press. Despite his frustration, Harry was determined to find a way back to the front line, this time as an Apache helicopter pilot. Sir Richard Dannatt, professional head of the British Army at the time, told the documentary, he was the top student on his course. He was the top gunner on his course. Well done him. This was echoed by royal expert Penny Junor. She said, "This was a fantastic boost to Harry TM's confidence. For the first time, he discovered that there was something that he could do better than anybody else. That was the real turning point for Harry." Harry was promoted to captain in April 2011, and was redeployed the following year. He arrived at Camp Bastion in Afghanistan in September 2012, to begin a 4-month tour. Upon his return, Harry compared the Apache TM's weapons systems to playing video games, and also discussed killing Taliban insurgents whilst piloting their helicopters. He said, "We fire when we have to, take a life to save a life, but essentially we TMR more of a deterrent than anything else. If they're TMS people trying to do bad stuff to our guys, then we TMLL take them out of the game, I suppose." He would not serve on the front line again, but continued to use his platform to promote military causes. His flight home from Afghanistan inspired him to make a difference. Soldiers that had lost limbs were on the same plane. Harry insisted that he was not a hero, the injured were the true heroes. His response, wanting to make a difference, was to launch the Invictus Games. The first Invictus Games took place in London TMS Olympic Park in 2014, with a series of countries hosting since. The latest games were supposed to be held in May 2020 in The Hague, Netherlands, but were postponed twice due to the coronavirus pandemic. They will now be held next year, with a Netflix film crew in tow as part of Harry TM's Heart of Invictus trademark documentary project. After 10 years with the army, Harry stepped down in 2015. His experiences within the military, he said in a statement, would stay with him for the rest of his life. Since then he has served as Captain General of the Royal Marines, but was forced to give up this position in February 2021, as well as handing back all other honorary military appointments, following his and Meghan TM's decision to step back from royal duties. Lewis Hamilton received a knighthood at Windsor Castle this week, just days after his heartbreaking end to the Formula One season. The Mercedes star was pipped to the championship on the last lap as Max Verstappen capitalized on a controversial decision to resume racing by the race director Michael Massey. After the race, Sir Lewis' brother Nick offered an update on the 7-time champion. He said, "I tried to speak to him, but I think I'm just going to leave him for a bit. We all know what it TM's like when things are difficult. My mum and dad are with him and they said he TM's okay. I think he TMS just in a place where he doesn't TMT want to talk to anyone, including me. But Sir Louis' disappointment may have been eased by the honor he received on Wednesday. The Mercedes man has been positive about the royals in the past, including Meghan Markle when she first entered the firm. In 2018, after her wedding to Prince Harry, Hamilton heaped praise on the Duchess and said he enjoyed the occasion. He said, "I watched here at the weekend just with a smile on my face the whole time. It was great to see such a positive change. It was great to see how happy they both were. It was just a really proud day for the world, and it's always great to see positivity and change. The fact you do have diversity in the royal family today is a huge thing. People probably don't realize how important that is. Even to see at the church you had a mixture with the ministers, in the music, in the choir, it was just really beautiful to see. So I just had the greatest weekend ever, just sitting there watching, seeing talented people play music and seeing them speak, and then just to see this power couple walk out. It was the greatest wedding I've ever seen, and I'm not big on weddings at all, I avoid them at all costs. But this was one. I wish I was actually in England to have seen it. Plus, England on a sunny day is just so beautiful with the castle and everything. It was pretty much a fairy tale that every kid and adult today that's particularly not married dreams of having that kind of weekend." Hamilton has also appeared friendly with Harry in the past, as seen when they met at Silverstone in March 2020. Harry was driven to the doors of a new building in an electric Mercedes by Hamilton. The pair took a tour of the Silverstone Experience in Northamptonshire, a museum charting British motor racing through the years. As they arrived, Harry and Sir Louis met students from local schools in the Tech Lab section, learning more about the cutting-edge science and engineering that goes into motor racing. Harry got to grips with some of the interactive displays, including the pit gun challenge. Hamilton has also recalled a funny story involving himself and the Queen from when he was first made a member of the Order of the British Empire, also known as an MBE, at a ceremony in 2009. In 2015, the iconic F1 driver spoke to Graham Norton about the interaction. He said, "I got invited to a lunch and was sitting next to the Queen. I was excited and started to talk to her, but she said, pointing to my left, 'No, you speak that way first, and I'll speak this way and then I'll come back to you.'" He continued, "She is a sweet woman, and we talked about how she spends her weekends, houses and music. She is really cool." Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have allegedly been advised by the collaborators to split and work independently for a strong political voice, royal expert Neil Sean claimed. The royal couple stepped down from their senior working roles within the royal family in 2020, with insiders claiming Meghan struggled with not having her own political voice anymore. The Duchess is reportedly contemplating taking on a bigger role as an activist in support of wider societal equality. Mr. Sean told his YouTube channel, "It looks like in 2022 they could be heading for a split, and here's the reason why. Those very expensive people that they pay thousands of pounds to every month from all of those deals that we all report on basically said, look, it would work better if you were independent of each other." He claimed, "As we know, Meghan Markle wants to become some sort of political figure, whatever story they're painted out, that is the true story. She wants to become an activist and of course a champion of rights, whether that be women, men, trans. That seemingly does seem to be the route that she wants to go down." He continued, "And as we told you on the show a couple of days ago, her not having a political voice was one of the major reasons why she decided to quit the royals. Now, Prince Harry has set his cap at all the things to do with well-being, unhappy mental health balance, all the things that really matter in the real world, because of course he's so connected to that. But on a serious note, I do agree with him on some of those elements. If you're unhappy, you've got to change your life, but really, as a lot of people are saying on this channel." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced the launch of their new foundation after they moved to California to live independently from the royal family. An insider claimed Meghan always relied on her own voice to stand up for others, and for herself and struggled with the deactivation of her own blog The Tig. They told US Weekly, she TMS always been so independent, her entire life, and that TMS all been taken away from her. She TMS always been able to clap back on social media, and now she can TMT. Meghan Markle closed her personal social media accounts as under royal protocol members of the royal family should only have officially managed accounts. The Duchess also faced backlash and trolls concerning her negative image being part of the royal family. She said, "I have a lot of concerns for people that have become obsessed with it, social media. People who are addicted to drugs are called users and people who are on social media are users. There is something algorithmically that is in there that is creating this obsession that I think is very unhealthy for a lot of people. I have a lot of concerns for people that have become obsessed with it, and it is so much a part of our daily culture for so many people that it is an addiction." The Duchess of Sussex continued, "As you TM out there building your brand, as you are out there engaging with friends online, just be conscious of what you TM doing. Understand that it is not limited to that one moment that you are creating an echo chamber for yourself. I have not been on social media for a very long time. I made a personal choice to not have any account, so I don't TMT know what TMS out there, and in many ways, the TMS helpful for me.